If you think that football tactics can't be used to explain some of the fundamentals of Marxist thought, then you'd be absolutely wrong, because I'm about to explain why tika-taka football can help us understand the intricacies of dialectical materialism. Let's go. And if you're new here, my name is Ollie. I'm a professor of human geography. I teach Marxist thought. I also really like football, so I thought I combined the two together into a series of which this is part 7. So tika-taka football, the kind of which you're seeing here, was a very radical kind of football which involved short passes and actually quite short, diminutive kind of players, which is a really radical break from the kind of quick, strong, direct football which we're used to seeing. It was revolutionized by Pep Guardiola when he was in charge of Barcelona from 2008 onwards. And actually, it became part of the style of the national team as well, of the Spanish national team, which meant that they won the 2008 European Championships, the 2010 World Cup, and indeed the 2012 European Championships. And many saw that style of football as perfection. It just couldn't be beaten. Indeed, Pep Guardiola came out and said this himself. In 2009, Barcelona won the World Club Cup when they beat Libertadores. He came out and he said the future is bleak. We can't improve upon this anymore. So in many respects, it was total perfection. He had completed football. But of course, any football fan will tell you that that's just not true. You can't complete football. And indeed, tika-taka football, for all its aesthetic perfection, it's not actually used anymore. People don't use it anymore because it's been found out. People have created other styles. Look at when Jurgen Klopp came into Liverpool and he was able to have a different style of football, which was able to actually supersede the kind of tika-taka football that Pep Guardiola was employing at Manchester City. And that, dear viewer, is what a dialectic means. It's a dialogue, using the same root of the word, a conversation, a contradiction perhaps between two opposing or two, sometimes maybe even three, different ideas or abstract theories that push history forward. So Marx was arguing that history is dialectical insofar as it's a conversation between ideas, philosophies that move history forward. There is no end game of which we're all trying to get to that you can suddenly win. There is no end of history like people like Fukuyama would say. It's a constant negotiation which pushes us forward. So that's what he meant by dialectic. What did he mean by materialism? Well, to understand that, we have to go back to the work of one of his tutors, George Hegel. And what he said was that the world, if you like, or the philosophical ideas about it, is split into two realms. We've got the ideas and the spiritual and the belief systems that we have, which are very sort of unanchored, if you like. And then there's the material world, the observable world, the things that we can touch and feel, including our own bodies. Now, Hegel, he was an idealist because he was a good Christian man, and he believed that belief systems and ideas and spirituality, that comes first, and the material world is made into being out of that. But actually, the materialists thought it the other way. They said, no, the world comes first, the physical materiality of the world comes first, and our spiritual beliefs and our cultures and our ideas stem from that world. Now, Marx was a materialist. He was kind of in that camp, although he was one of the first people to argue that actually they had a dialectical relationship, because while these belief systems and these cultures and ideas stem from the material world, once they are created, they have an effect on that material world, and they actually begin to change it, and then they change them back, and so on and so forth. And so what Marx firmly believed and what he wrote about from a philosophical perspective was that history changes via a dialectical relationship between materialism and idealism. So if we relate that to football tactics, we can see actually that football tactics show us how this dialectical relationship happens, because you have some tactics which are based on the people and the players that you have. There are some people, you've got a big guy up front, let's just lump it long ball. Or you've got idealists who sort of say, no, this is the brand of football I want to play, and so we're going to fit players into that. But ultimately, the ways in which tactics develop is a negotiation between them. And so you don't have a completed version. You know, tiki-taka was beautiful to watch, but it was ultimately superseded, ultimately became beatable, because that's how football tactics work. So whether you're 4-4-2, 4-3-3, inverted pyramids, false nines, Christmas trees, whatever it might be, football tactics, we can think of them as a dialogue, as a dialectic between different competing ideas of how to progress as a football team to win the Premier League or win the cup or whatever aim is involved. So yeah, football tactics are a fantastic way to allegorize dialectical materialism.